Yo, what's up, y'all? This is Fat Man Scoop, the undisputed voice of the club, the 2-time Grammy Award winner. Let me make this official for you. Fat Man Scoop, Crooklyn Clan, Internets. It's time to go with my dude, Premium Pete. Let's get focused. Let's go. Internets. Let's turn up. One time. Premium Pete.
Come on, everybody get set. Let's go. It's the next episode. It's the Premium Pete Show. News, interviews, all of the info. Listen up. It's the Premium Pete Show. If you want the scoop in the low, down low, listen to the show cause Milk said so. Fuck what you heard, better act like you know. It's the Premium Pete Show.
Internets, welcome back to another episode of the Premium Pete Show. Sitting down with a trio, okay? Three amigos. The good fellas. Okay.
What do you want? What do you want?
Never underrated. Very appreciated. And if they're not, man, you're going to get a chance to do that again.
The rise moon every 30 years, so do we.
Yeah. Man, back making music.
Total
I mean, never
eclipse.
stopped making music, but back putting something out together.
No, the music, the moon, the total eclipse don't come every year.
So it's something special.
Right.
Okay?
Something special.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So
5 foot.
Yes, sir.
Evil Dee.
Yes.
Buckshot.
Yes, sir.
Black Moon in the building.
Live action.
Yes.
Yes,
All right.
Listen,
Clap.
before we even started the episode, we were talking off air, just really reminiscing about so many different people. More so just life, just New York nightlife, hip hop, just how things have changed, but also how you was evolved.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, you haven't put out something together in what, like 16 years maybe?
Mm-hmm.
It's bug because everybody is like we lose track of the time. But
Yeah, we wasn't on the time screen.
That's one thing I do appreciate. Some things that we could argue about hip hop, meaning not meaning us, meaning in general, meaning like that to appreciate what people contributed more instead of worrying about if they're relevant or not. That's a beef I have. I mean, and it's seen a lot. I always say Kenny Rogers is touring, nobody's complaining.
Right.
But what I do like is that there are a lot of people who commemorate times and things, like meaning like on this day 16 years ago, Black Moon put out, like we do see those type of things that you may even forget, like, oh shit, I forgot we even put it out this time, because you all living your life.
Right. We did. We are in social media, you see a lot of that, and they remind you of 16 years ago Black Moon would drop Into the Stage, and now the what's the next day, Rise of the Moon. I think we dropped it
The 18th.
the 18th.
October 18th?
Yeah,
That's right.
I mean, no. It's-
October 18th.
Yeah, October 18th.
Okay.
That's the day. Yes.
So yeah, it was funny, and that's the best way to put it, for real, no joke. Like when I think about it, we come so close to the correlation between like the real moon, damn near, and us as a group, because the phases that the moon grows through, you know what I'm saying? The stages that the moon goes through, and the relevance that without the moon at night there would be no light.
The moon is special. For people listening who may not even know who Black Moon is.
A lot of y'all don't.
There could be some people.
A lot of y'all don't.
Even like, I give an example. I was talking to one of my man. He's down in Atlanta. You a little younger, and he wasn't that familiar. And I was like, well, here's what you need to do: go get familiar. And here's the reason why. That's never ever something that should be. I think we live in a day and age. There's a lot of young kids that want to get familiar,
Right.
but they just need the book. You know what I mean? Or they need the information to go check them out. Because I'll be honest with you, man. Enter the Stage, to me, and I'm not just saying this because you're here, forever classic. Too many joints on there to not be. But more importantly, sometimes I feel like there were so many groups at that time in the 90s that people maybe, it could have been overlooked to how special Black Moon was. Or is, so to speak. Do you feel, I mean, and I don't want to say.
No, that wasn't the case, and that was the case. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that wasn't the case, and that was the case. Part of that was due to the reality, at the fact that commercial music will always rule. It's commercial because it's everybody can relate to it. That's it. When we were saying commercial rap get the gun clap, we was basically saying to conform or do anything outside of yourself to be on radio or to become a star was something that we wouldn't do. So that's what the essence of commercial rap get the gun clap. So people, if you got a record and it's on the radio all the time, that doesn't mean that it's commercial. That just means that you have a style of music that everybody like. So during the 90s, there were two different styles in a sense that were kind of running hip hop, and commercial was one of them with respect, and underground was one of them with respect. You had a Mobb Deep that was making Mobb Deep joints, and then you had Naughty by Nature that was making hip hop array. They were both they were both respected.
Sure.
And you know what I'm saying? Like Naughty by Nature them niggas ain't no, like, they ain't pussy.
Yeah, I mean, Treach is, that's the funny thing, because it's so commercial and so radio sometimes when you think of Naughty by Nature.
That's the
think
average.
about how thorough Treach is.
Yeah. So that was so that's the reason. So part of that had a little bit to do with the fact that Black Moon didn't cross over to the levels of where people would recognize us as that level of a group that sold those many records and did those many things. I mean, it was hard for us. We came out on a house label.
What was that? Nervous Records.
Yeah. We came out on a house label, and we turned it into a hip hop label. That never happened.
But you sold like, I don't know, I remember hearing like 3, 4.
We sold like 3, 4. No, we actually sold like 4 and change.
Yeah, 4.
400,000, just to be clear, internet.
Yeah, you know, I mean, and but for us, it wasn't the number. It was, at the time, the numbers and the fame kind of didn't like lock each other in yet. So it's like we sold 4, but we were bigger than the average person who might have sold 4.
Sure.
And it was because of our whole atmosphere and what we did and how we did it. So,
you know, I remember over the years, obviously we know each other for a while, but I remember, you know, over the years talking about even Nervous Records, and you think about, I remember you speaking about how, you know, y'all didn't make really any money from Enter the Stage. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No.
Did that make you bitter? Meaning, like, you know, I mean, think about Enter the Stage again. I mean, classic. You know what I mean? But it's like, you could feel like, fuck, man, I ain't even make any money off this fucking shit. You know, how is it like you're still moving out here, Buck doing 1,000 things?
I'm doing a bunch of things, yeah.
I mean, spinning, you know, 5 foot. I mean, still out here evolving. But the point I'm making is that could have ruined people's, like, you can be like, fuck this shit.
Yeah. I mean,
it was, yeah. I mean, we was young, you know what I'm saying? We was young, experiencing grown folk situation as far as business was concerned, and a lot of things that we didn't know about business. Pretty much we learned, we straight hands-on training. Everything we had to learn, anything that dealt with business, we learned hands-on. Nobody really sat us down to teach us what's going on. So yeah, the experience of going through a bad label and bad deals puts a bitter taste in your mouth. But luckily, we possess something called perseverance and fight, which adds on to the drive of pushing things forward, no matter how hard or how tough the situation may seem or come across, you know.
Like, I don't get me wrong. Like, look, I'm not bitter at all.
Yeah.
If I thank Michael Weiss for that.
Yeah.
Because if he didn't jerk us, or if it wasn't anything of, and to be honest with you, like it wasn't anything of jerking. If he didn't jerk us, you know, we wouldn't have Duck Down and da. Listen, let me explain something to you. You know, and anybody that's listening, a contract is an agreement between two people, and when you have a contract, and you know, some of it may say, you know, we're going to give you 10%, right? And in that contract, unfortunately, if a person say or claims or says that they spent X amount of dollars on working this record to get you to where you're at, they got some term called non-recoup. So you may think that you recouped. You may think that you got back the money that was put into it, and now you can start making money and blah, 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 blah. But depending on the contract you sign, you may not recoup. So it's not, a lot of times people they get it misconstrued, like, and think that, you know, Michael Weiss was standing over us with a big black hoodie and, you know, red fangs going, I want to get these guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not, and if you don't know business, then you don't know that.
Sure. But I do remember you also saying that, and I don't know if it was him, but I remember hearing that dude, and I don't know how it was said, but dude was saying like he bought like a Mercedes but I don't know if he meant that he bought a Mercedes with the money or he just bought a Mercedes. Because I remember you saying like, yo, I ain't get anything from this. You buying a Mercedes from it, man. That's fucking. But I don't know if that was the correlation of.
Yeah, I mean, at the time, once again, I mean, you know, it's hard because being in a position, look, we could have got a better situation. That's the bottom line.
Sure.
But the tediousness of the situation was so crazy because it's like, here comes 3 kids. Nobody ever gave us a shot. Nobody gave us a chance. And here comes these 3 kids, and they walk in this room, and this Nervous is an independent label, right? So this label is basically says, I'm gonna take a shot. Chuck Chill Out was the person who gave us that situation. So Chuck Chill Out used to always say a term. He used to always say nervous. You done? We look nervous. So Michael Weiss gave him a deal for something called Nervous Records. Chuck Chill Out went out and found us when he saw us at a show. And then he took us and he brought us into Nervous Records that next day. So whatever level Michael Weiss was risky on, or, you know, whatever the situation is, because there's so many things and so many sides that I could look at it from as a label guy and as an artist. So putting those two together, all I could do is say, if it wasn't for him doing what he did, I would have never got mad that day and stormed out of Nervous and looked at Dru, and had the conversation that I had with him, and basically was like, yo, you doing all the work here. You are Duck Down. Like, you are Nervous Records. You don't later for this. Why don't me and you start Duck Down together? Like, start our own label, I mean. And that's how me and Dru started Duck Down.
And the legendary doors open to what that was. I mean, you know, I've had Dru on before. I mean, and just the story of like almost signing Eminem, all the artists that came out, Boot Camp Click, Helter Skelter, Smith and Wesson. You know, I mean, we could keep on going on.
I work with everybody, and I think that
but look, it's funny because it's like, look at what happened versus what happened. Yeah. Sometimes
the bad has to happen. I tell all the people, you got to hit rock bottom to go to the top. I mean, if you don't hit rock bottom, then there's more to go, because then now you're dictating your level at the top. Like, if you're trying to go to the top, you got to be able to go there. You got to be able to make sure that, like, no matter what you do, you're faced with the hardest challenges. And that's what this music industry is. And a lot of y'all young kids and a lot of kids that's out there, they don't really know the things that go on. You know, one of my close friends, he was telling me about this other kid named Fabio. Fabio is from Brooklyn, and everybody was, you know, going crazy over Fabio. Cool kid, cool, good music too. And the whole industry basically didn't really make any noise until he made noise on his own, and he started hearing the records. And I said, nobody, you could be talking to the champ right there, and no one will know you're the champ until you step on that podium and raise your hand.
Put your hands in.
You understand? So the person could be talking to the champ right here the whole time, but nobody been believe in him until he put his hands up and get that gold medal. So it doesn't matter to me as far as the public saying, yeah, you know, whatever they say.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I don't blame it on them. It's up to me to prove myself and to prove, you know, us what we do. It's up to us to prove why we deserve to where we deserve to be at. You understand me? And I don't want nobody to feel no way. I don't like that energy. And I don't like anything correlated to the vibe of Black Moon feeling related to that. You know what I'm saying? Because we are one of the groups that promote new school and old school.
Absolutely. And you're still here. That's the thing. Rise of the Moon.
Yeah, Rise of the Moon. 16 years later. It's
check this out, Buck and Evil and 5 Foot. First time you heard your song on the radio. Do you remember that? Or maybe Evil Dee will start with that.
I was actually on my way to the store, and Kid Capri was on BLS. This was 92. Kid Capri was on BLS, and he threw on Who Got the Props. And I was like, yo, that's my song. And everybody was like, sure. I was like, nah, that's me and my crew. Sure, Evil, good try. 2 weeks later, it was like, yo, that is his song. And, you know, that to me, like, it was like, yo, like, wow, we rocking now. And it's funny because I still feel that feeling when I hear my record on the radio, like the first time. I still get that feeling like, yo, they actually playing it. Yo, that's dope. You know what I'm saying?
They live forever.
Yeah.
What about you, Buck? Okay, do you want to throw the 5 foot?
No, I was saying, I mean, you can answer the question. How,
Well, each of y'all have a different feeling.
Yeah.
Get 5.
Before we got the deal, I used to always watch the 5 Heartbeats. So it was a part in there where they first heard their record on the radio and they wilded, they jumped up. So my situation experience correlates to that. You know what I'm saying? First hearing the single and the song on the air, it was just like, yo, we put mad dedication to that first level of being a part of the culture. It was like, amazing feeling. You know what I'm saying? It was a feat that we reached, something that we determined and we worked very hard to achieve. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it was like something real special. Live action. Word.
What about you, Buck?
Same thing. It was just, I would say genuine. It was just a good feeling. I don't even remember where I was at the time when I did hear Who Got the Props on the radio. I think, but I do remember my sister telling me, and she played a real big part in this whole movement as well. But I remember my sister telling me, she was like, "Yeah, I heard your record on the radio," and I was like, "Get out of here," you know what I'm saying? And she was like, "Yeah, it came on," and you get out. And then I wound up. They played it again like later that night. I think that was another show. They had played it, and I was like, wow, okay, like this. It's on the real radio now.
It's on the radio.
Building, especially when you think about the era we grew up, because we're almost everybody about the same age.
Around the same.
Yeah, but when it's funny because there wasn't social media, right? So y'all built a brand from your talent. When you think about that,
Right?
You built a brand. People fucking with the music, fucking with this. Enter the Stage had tremendous amount of tracks, got radio play. Here's the thing that I feel like what I love about, especially, at that time I didn't travel, so I'm saying New York hip hop, what I loved about is that people act like they've been there before already. It's not like you had all these fans when you were in junior high school and you knew that, like, yo, let's take a picture or sign an autograph or whatever. It's not like you went to school for this shit either. But one thing I loved about being from New York, being from Brooklyn particularly even, is like when you saw Mobb Deep, when you saw
somebody from that,
from that era, even Black Moon, like, do you remember the moment when you knew like you had fans and shit like that? Like, okay, you make music, okay, it's on the radio, but then maybe you did a show, people are like, okay, I fuck with it, but like,
I'm funny with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm funny with that because I try to stay, like, me personally, I try to stay out of the light a lot of things, because I don't like to tamper with a lot of people's just say vision of what they may feel like Buckshot would say or respond to in a way. I love my music. I love my crowd. I love the people. I'm very affected by that. Good and bad. So when, the day I dropped out of high school to do this, there was a day that the high school door was closing and the guy was like, either you're going to come in now or we're going to leave or you're going to go out. And at the time, I had an option to be an intern with Hank Shockley. So it was either go to school or be an intern. You know what I'm saying? And the door was closing, and the guy was like, listen, are you coming in or not? And I said, you know what? I'm not going in. I'm going forward. And I'm going to start my career. Like, I'm going full-fledged. And from then, I never turned back. You know what I'm saying? I don't play around. I never turn back because that's just how my character is. So from then, Most people say you got to go to college, you got to finish high school. You
are for people who don't know, okay, an entrepreneur before they even use that word.
Business
I
buck.
remember seeing you always coming up with something.
Yeah, business buck.
We got this new
Sneaker.
the sneakers.
Got the
but
speakers.
not only that, the speaker, the backpack.
Got the chargeable book bag.
What's the new one coming on buckshotmobile.com internet?
Live action.
So Buckshot Mobile is a all around mobile company. It's a 360 mobile company. Everything mobile, from speakers to phones to the site to support to platform, and soon will be distributed through a major carrier. Unfortunately, I can't say their names, even though I want to so bad. But corporate rules is just so berserk.
It's all good.
It's all crazy, but. It's a Buckshot Mobile, because what I'm showing people is, Kenyatta Blake is I want to show people that 10 to 20 years from now that Kenyatta Blake took the name Buckshot and branded it as a valuable name and not just the MC. You feel me? I wanted to show people that, like, you gotta have something you leave behind, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, and a career is basically, an investment, and and it's hard to leave anything else behind. So, and they
have the what's that phone? The Bluetooth one?
The speaker?
It just connects to the speaker.
Well, we got the non-Bluetooth inductive speaker for, that you basically just sit your phone on it and it activates. And then we do got phones coming out. We got a whole bunch of different devices coming out. Nowadays, people are more concerned with what's inside the phone than the phone itself. So the game is getting bigger, like you said. People are doing everything mobile. Years ago, people would have been running to the house, right? And they would have been going to listen to a Black Moon, a Black Moon record on the radio. I mean, on the wax. They'd have to go to their homeboy house or whatever. Today, they don't got to do that. So that has an effect on hip hop. That has an effect on the music. That has an effect on the sales. That has an effect on the impact and everything that comes with it. Just because that one experience. So you multiply that by the thousands and thousands and thousands, and there goes your impact. As far as like why a lot of groups don't sell what they sell or would sell, could sell, and why a lot of other groups sell what they could sell. And hip hop is a teenage-based platform situation. We've just got to the point where we got grown hip hop, but hip hop is a teenage-based foundation, and it always was, and it always will be. You know what I'm saying? And we as the adults in hip hop, we got to do our job, which is guide places like the radio stations, like the promotion company, other places. We got to be the ones guiding that, so these young kids can have somebody that they can relate to when it comes to that. You want Marty with the farty pants to try to give you a promotion, whatever, or you know what I mean, or you want Pete,
or you want Buckshot or Evil Dee
or Pete, you know what I'm saying,
or 5 foot, Well, anyway, salute to you for always being thinking ahead, being an entrepreneur, putting your money in something and building a foundation and a legacy.
It's all about the kids. It's all about the kids.
Always inspired, always proud to see it. For people listening that, like I said, that may not know you or may not know Black Moon, Buckshot, was that your first name that you ever came up with, or did you have a couple?
I mean, you could tell we had when me and Five was dancers, so we had a group.
That wasn't his first name. We met at a very young age, but our first encounter was through dancing.
Okay,
as being together, as experiencing music, our first thing was dancing. So, as dancing partners, we call ourselves KB1 and KB2 at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we call ourselves KB1 and KB2 because his government name is KB. You know what I'm saying? K. Cosby and Bill. Mine is Kenyatta Blake.
Okay,
so we basically was like, dancers KB1 and KB2, and from that, I had a love of for a particular style of the 22s. I used to do rifling when I was a kid, but I had a particular love for the 22 Buckshot. And long story short, let me just put it to you like that, because I'm out to shorten that one. Long story short, that's why I chose the name Buckshot, because I just felt like it represented me and everything on target. It's a small bullet with a huge impact. So like, like Buckshot, that's really why I chose it. I was like, look how small this bullet is, but yet it will have the. It does. But it will have the illest impact if you put it in the right place. So that's Buckshot. That's BD. That's me.
It does damage.
Yes, sir.
Buckshot Shorty.
Buckshot Shorty. No more.
BDI. Yo,
there you go.
They call me BDI too. Right?
Oh.
Remember we took that picture? I was like, we got 2 BDI motherfuckers. And 5 foot.
What's good, baby?
Do I have to point out the measuring tape? Is that why it's called 5 foot?
Exactly.
I'm just saying for people listening who may not know. You know what I'm saying? Right. I want them to learn a little. I want them to know about you, and the people who know, maybe they'll learn a little more.
I kept the 5 feet was a clique that I was running with, that one of my mans that came up with back in the days when we was teenagers. So in the process of figuring out what's the next move going to be, and what's the name of the group, and what's going to be your acronym, what's going to be your name, I chose to be the 5 foot accelerator.
Do damage
bring
on
that
them,
with me. Yeah.
Evil Dee.
Accelerate. Evil Dee.
Evil Dee sounds, to be honest with you, it sounds that good. But was that the first one that you came up? Because sometimes people, again, I say that because sometimes names, sometimes you're your own worst enemy. Not meaning you. Meaning people, you can have a dope name and be like, I don't like that. And then other people be like, that's dope.
Nah, my name before that was not, well, today's standards wouldn't have been dope. You know what I'm saying? Chili D is mad old school.
Chili D.
Chili D.
So, it's like when I was at elementary school, I was on, we was on a class trip, and the teacher said, yo, is Chili D in the house? And like 5 people said, oh. I'm looking around like, what? So I was mad. I went home. I went to my people's crib, and I was sitting on their steps, and I was like, yo, man, it's like mad Chili D's up in the class, man. I gotta think of a name. And his older brother, who played the keys on, his name is Jovan. He played the keys on Set It Off, Strafe Set It Off. He was sitting on the top of the steps. He said, yo, why don't you just call yourself Evil Dee? You're a nice guy. So just call yourself Evil Dee. It's like a fat kid calling himself skinny. And that's exactly how I got my name.
It's crazy.
And it went like that forever. Like once I took the name Evil Dee, and that was in 6th grade. Once I took that name, that was it.
It's funny, man, when they told me Rise of the Moon was coming out and Black Moon was coming back out with an album, back out with some material for people to put in their ear holes. I was like, yo.
Yeah, right.
It's a special day. But then I remember looking around, I was like, sometimes I like to just see what was out there, or people back in the day. And yo, MTV Raps, man. And bro, the look on your faces, especially Evil Dee, I'm like, you look so young.
Yeah.
And I'm like, even
live action.
Buckshot, I was like,
live action, young word,
youth.
Do you,
we was conscious, we wasn't
ahead of our time, man.
We was conscious, but we wasn't really conscious of all of the individual moments of it. You know what I mean? Because we was having fun, and at the same time, it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work. It was a lot, and so it was a lot. I think we wasn't that conscious of looking back and being like, because if you notice, most people who was doing anything at a teenage age.
Sure.
Most artists, most of them, 90% of them were all Cool V. You just said Bismarck, Roxanne, say like Big Daddy Kane, Rakim. Everybody was young at that age, and the reason why hip hop dominates at a teenage, because teenagers travel in packs and adults don't. So anytime anything travels in packs, or anyone traveling packs,
spreading the culture,
the spy is going to spread further and more than an adult who's on his way to home to work is not thinking about having a conversation with 3 of his homeboys about what's popping on TV. And that's the reason why, as teenagers, you that hip hop is so strong at that teenage year and at that young 20, 25, you know what I'm saying? You start getting 26, 27, things starts to change a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You get in your 30 years, those are those starting to, what should I do? Should I start managing? Should I start A&R? Like what, you know what I'm saying? Because you start to realize that there's the finance situation in music, you got to take advantage of that. And you got to know how to, and unfortunately, there's not a lot of people that could tell you that, because it really is not the money in the game the way people think it is. You know what I'm saying? But for these little dudes, it is, because they've got clubs, they got shows going on, and these little dudes would be like 1,000 of them coming to see Little Yuck. You never even heard of him. He never was on the radio, but he's socially popping, and you know, people pay $50 a pack, a ticket for him, and he's packed. The promoters make pay back. And you got this old school legend group right next door, and 300 people came to see him. You know what I'm saying? And the promoter didn't recoup. Nobody made their money, and it was a bad night. You know, and it's like, no, you know, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, that's one of the hardest things to answer when it comes to groups from different eras. So when you see a Black Moon show, we just try to give you a good show and a good, because I got, you know,
a great experience, you know.
Sure. You know, speaking about Rise of the Moon and coming back out, like, how long has this been talked about? Because I feel like
everybody kept saying we're going to come out, and we didn't,
and it never did. So take us through the day, the night, the moment, the text, the fucking email that was like, we full steam ahead.
I mean, we just knew, you know, it was like, I just knew it in my heart. It was time to take advantage of Black Moon. It wasn't convoluted. It wasn't special.
Sure.
It was just, it really was like, yo, you know what? But this time, we were conscious of going, let's not try to give them nothing that's not Black Moon. We were willing to deal with the fact that if there's 300,000 Black Moon fans out there, then that's what we're gonna get. You know what I'm saying? But just give them the 300,000 fans, give them authentic Black Moon.
Authentic Black Moon. Right now, Black Moon, pretty much giving them all out experience over the years of being in the game, and what the game really means to us, and how much the game really means to us, and how much our craft and our art really means to us. You know, what Ian Walt did with the production was an amazing job. You know, they gave us some ill production that, I mean, we never know. There's no script to break down how we're going to do exactly what we want to do. It's all about just putting our mind in position and putting the thoughts in position, so that way we can, you know, pretty much execute the way we need to execute. Like, you know, we for me, for the love of the art and the essence, you know, what we do, we try to definitely implement that and put that in the album that we just put out just now. So, you know, pretty much, you know, the love of the art and the love of, you know, putting things in perspective, whereas we hoping, or we're looking for people to give us the response of, yeah, y'all did your damn thing. So a lot of energy and perspective was put into that when we putting this together.
I love it.
And I'll just say, yeah. It started with Beat Miners, and that's the
legendary.
Yeah, Evil Dee and Mr. Wall. It started with them and their production, and their production dictated the essence of where we went lyrically. Cause that's it.
So you know what people are gonna say? People say, okay, Rise of the Moon. We finally got an album from Black Moon. Are they gonna do some shows?
Of course we're gonna do shows.
November 1st. November 1st, we're at SOB.
Yeah, everybody come out to November 1st SOB. That's gonna mean a lot to us. I mean, for me, I'm gonna tell you, you know, everybody that's watching, that's real, that affects me a lot. That really does. I mean, you know, when I see a lot of people come out to do to watch a Black Moon performance. The reason why it affects me because I'm a performer. I don't just do a show. I do a performance. We do a performance. So when we get on stage, you know, it's like we want people to enjoy our performance. And, you know, yes, you know, there is a small sense of reflection there, whether it be because of old school, whether it be because of that many people are just like, yeah, I'm a hip hop fan, but I'm not necessarily a Black Moon fan. You know what I'm saying? Which is fine because Black Moon makes a certain type of it's like almost like the chocolate donut. It's like we make everybody, a lot of people love us, but we're not for everybody that doesn't like vibe that vibe. You know what I'm saying? And let's keep it real. You go to certain clubs, you're not going to hear a Black Moon record bouncing in the club. You feel me? Yeah. You're not going to hear certain records. We got records that's going to play now, but you don't hear Black Moon bouncing around, and that plays an effect. Of course, it's going to play an effect. Come on, that's where the kids, that's where everybody's at. They chilling in the club. So if you're not getting played in the club, then
nobody going to hear you.
But I also believe, and I think we spoke about this. I think we spoke about it in the beginning, but you know, also you got to think about it. If Black Moon, honestly, and I mean this, and a lot of people should think this way too. And I'm not trying to tell people how to think, but I am. If Black Moon never put out another piece of fucking material, you should appreciate what they contributed. I mean, you know, whoever, Slick Rick, like we shouldn't force him to say he has to put something else out. Nah, whatever he put out that catalog. We should always appreciate that and all their contribution. And when you think about hip hop as a whole, it's a puzzle. And Black Moon is a piece of that puzzle.
We just got to the adult stages. This never happened before.
Yeah.
Hip hop came out late 70s. You know, this is our first time, you know, being able to be adults in hip hop. This never happened before. So the fact that we are adults on their own are going to be like, this wasn't around in my era. That wasn't, we used to do that. That. Bring your little ass upstairs. You see, y'all wear them goddamn baggy pants. Like, oh, you know, that's a part of being a parent. It's a part of being an elder, and whether that go with hip hop or outside of hip hop. So we just starting to hip hop. We're just starting to get that with hip hop. And right now, you know, a lot of us have that in hip hop. Meaning, yo, they don't do them young boys and they don't used to and did that. So we got to get used to that. The younger kids, they got to get used to hearing old adults to talk like that. Sure. And the adults, you know, we just all got to get used to that and face the reality that you don't never have to stop what you're doing as far as the music. But you better face the reality that things could be real. Shit could get crazy because they tell you. I mean, I heard Guru on his the Gangstar premiere record that we just listened to, and he says something rap can't even buy him or no can't buy something. But after that, you know, you can't even buy spam in the street. Something. He wrote something with basically saying like most rappers are broke and most rappers are gonna be broke because the little bit of bread that they do get, they don't invest it and they don't do the right thing with their bread, with their money. So 90% of them will be broke. And broke means like 2 people could call you for a show this whole year. You know what I'm saying? Like rap is not stable. It's not a stable business as an artist. You feel me? As a whole, really, but as an artist. And what do you do when you put out an album, you know, you think it can't happen? You think 2 people can't call you for a show for the whole year? Yes, it can. And that's what Guru was speaking about on that record. And that's why it stopped me just now. And then now the conversation that we're having. And then talking about the relevance of older groups having to face the reality that their time has to slow down. And at some point in time, they got to be more impactful as a personality as opposed to just trying to rap on a mic. If the person that made the rapper was the one that shined, then that person should keep shining no matter if rap or not.
I think it's also, again, and I think it's also hard in, and I'm not an artist as far as a rapper or a producer or DJ, but I think it's hard when someone who's been doing this, I mean, I give you for example, or even since you dropped out of high school, and now you're, in your 40s or whatever, how old,
44.
And we right there, 44.
There you go.
4-4.
4-4.
Waving the 4-4.
You know what I'm saying?
Shouts to Big. It's like hard for you to do something. Not saying do something else, but meaning like you're so used to DJing or being in or spinning at a club. Like you couldn't imagine not doing it. You couldn't imagine not being in the studio. And a lot of that is you, because that's what you did day in, day out. And don't get me wrong.
Just buy the studio.
You True.
Like that's
and let it be known, internet, for listening, Duck Down, and I don't know about signing, but I know managing.
Yeah.
Joey Badass came to the table.
Yes, sir.
A lot of young MAs. There's a lot of other dudes.
Yep. Shout out to the whole Pro Era. Shout out to Q.
Pro Era, yep.
Yeah. I love your Q is my boy. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Nick. I'm still waiting for Nick stuff. A lot of people don't know
the
about
eye
Nick.
and ear has always been there. So it's not just about older hip hop or younger hip hop. I feel Duck Down has been and all three of you too, have been able to evolve but also pay attention. And I think that's special,
Man, Drew got a special relationship with Duck Down. We always I love Drew. I mean, he's realistic. And if it's gonna work 9 times out of 10, or if it's not going to work, whatever it is, he's going to tell you. Drew is just going to keep it real with you 100%. I mean,
I think he told me that his father helped the lawyers in the early, or he was like a lawyer.
Yes.
And he helped. I remember him saying that he got on a plane. He was almost getting on it by himself. Meaning his pops was going to meet you down in LA or some shit. And he was,
his father, rest in peace to Harvey. I love you. And his Mama Ha. I love you, Ma. Mama Ha. So it's became it's past, once it's past music, it's like kind of crazy talking about it on the mic, because it's like we're past music. And there's been a lot of people that I'm gonna tell you, there's a lot of people that be around, and there's a lot of people I've met. There's a lot of people that I've hung out with, chilled with. A lot of people I'm close to. But if there's one person that's been there when I needed him the most, like when I needed it, if there's one person that really never let me down when I needed it, I'm talking about like down to the seconds of whatever. And it didn't have to be financial, because me and his partners. It's like Drew was the guy. Drew was there. I mean, of course, in different situations, there's different people, but there's times when some of us are in situations, whether it be knowledge, information, or assistance, you know what I'm saying, or anything. And when there's that type of person that will get up at 3 a.m. or 2 a.m. and will do it for you. You know what I mean? Like normal is like, I'm fucking that ain't it. But for you or whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? Like that takes it past anything, because I'm not talking about just waking up and just going, okay, what do you need? I got you. I'm talking about going through shit with me.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And everything else. So I gotta say that, because I think back to those times and be like, if that didn't happen, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it could have been all the love in the universe from friends, family, relatives, and all that. You know what I'm saying? But that don't make shit happen. That shit right there don't make it. Like, love can make you or break you.
Too many gems, man. This motherfucking Buckshot dropped too many gems in this episode already. Evil Dee, man, we got to move over to you real quick, man. We think about beat miners, and you think about Rise of the Movement coming back after 16 years. I think that's the amount. I think we're right on the amount.
Yeah.
Like, how hard is it not saying you are, but how hard is it to not to sound like what people listening to now, to stay true to what y'all believe in? How hard is it to like come up with the beats that really speak to Black Moon or speak to you? Is that like a task that
I do it every day.
Yeah.
Like I never change. Like my whole thing is I can't be nobody but myself. And music sounds change, and you know, people now they use 808 drum kits and stuff like that, and it's cool. Like, but with me, like, I was always that boom bap dude. But what I always do is I listen to what's going on and I incorporate it in what I'm doing. Like, if you listen to the new album, there's 808s in the new album, but there's also bass lines, which you don't really hear in music no more. You know, at the same time, it's like, you know, it's about putting things in this frequency where it belongs. You know, like music nowadays, we listen in $400 headphones, you know, or the earbuds. How much your earbuds is?
$160, I think, AirPods.
Yeah. Like we spend money on our headphones and our AirPods and all that. So you want to hear quality. You want to hear that sound that you know, that you want to hear that dope sound from that music. And my sound has been consistent. You know, I may not be on the platform I was on yesterday with my sound, but at the same time I am. It's just that people don't realize it's me. Like we do TV stuff. Like we did The Breaks. We did music for Tiana Taylor and The Breaks.
Yep.
And you know, we do like different shows. We submit for different shows, and I have our music in different shows, and it's like people will never know it's me. They'll just think, yo, that's crazy. That sounds crazy. Who did that? You know, but Beatmon has always been consistent. Yeah. Each year we always drop something. There's always something, whether it's TV or whether it's music. And like this year is the Black Moon. You know? And it's funny because now like people are hearing it and they're like, yo, that's what hip hop should sound like. But hip hop should sound like how the individual sounds. Sure. Like, you know, like I appreciate a Drake record because it sounds like Drake. I appreciate a Static Selector record because I like Static. Just like I appreciate a Premier record because it sounds like Premier. You know? So it's just about being myself. That's what it breaks down to. Yeah, me being myself.
And it's dope. Rise of the Moon, man. You know, one thing I like about when a group comes back and puts together something is that people then dig back into the catalog. Yeah. So people listen, check this shit out and be like, oh, okay, they got some joints on this joint, and then go back and be like, damn, I forgot how this one was, or I forgot. You know, when you think about it, even too, you know, I had to remind myself how many hits were in, even Enter the Stage, bro. Enter the Stage. Look, you think about it this way. Who Got the Props? Okay. A classic forever. How many MCs? Okay. Act Like You Want It.
Yeah.
Buck 'Em Down.
Yeah, all the same.
And then the legendary, I Got You Open. You know, I mean, there's so much more, but meaning like those, I feel like those were the days where you would listen to something back and forth and wouldn't have to skip.
Yeah.
You know, now, you know, I give you
with this album, you don't have to do that either. Believe it or not.
That's what's special because look, you know, look, and there's nothing like, you know, but my daughter, she's gonna be 20. If she was a DJ, people would hate her because she's like boom, 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 boom. I'm like, yo, how you listen to 14 seconds of a song and change it? You know, the days of listening to music front to back is something special.
Yeah,
and you know, I think about not only do I think about music, I just think about like Black Moon. I even think about when you think about. I remember Dru telling me about going to Eminem's house. For, I mean, you know, it's like, think about, bro, think about the journey, man. Like,
shout out to Eminem, man. I mean, M is our family too. Yeah. M is our family. I mean, M said he was going to sign to Duck Down on the record, and we did the remix of I Got You Open and everything like that. But again, more than those things, like Dru been there for Eminem. Dru been there with him through a lot of same thing, you know, when times was hard, you know, and I keep saying it's not money because I don't want people to think, when it was to Dru write you a track.
You were going through some shit,
like,
not financial shit.
Yeah, man.
Which everybody does.
Dru's the type of person that'll sit there and talk to you and realistically talk to you, and there's stuff that he'll say, and if you don't want to, you know, you'll hear it, and you may have a problem with it, you know what I'm saying? But meaning, like, you may be like, don't want to accept that reality for certain things, certain places, certain people, and certain whatever. But he'll just be on point with it, and it'll be like, look, son, I'm just telling you what it is, and you can either take it or you can leave it. And that's one of those things that I respect about him. Like, it give you that vibe, like, you know what I'm saying? So you live by the bed that you lay in. And you know what I'm saying? And your morality, reality, or whatever. I say all that to say nobody deserves, you know, like the cry. You know what I'm saying? You get the work that you put in. And I'm talking about from the beginning to the end. So all these people that was like, we want new hip hop. We want new hip hop. We want hip hop that's going to represent what hip hop is. We want to represent hip hop. Hip hop. Because everybody kept feeling and saying that. So Black Moon is out, and I just felt like, all right, give us a shot. I don't know how you do it. If you do it on your debit card, if you do it on your streaming, Spotify, Modified,
Tidal,
WhatsApp, that's app. I don't care. Whatever. You know, shop Duck
No
Down.
Chinatown,
But go to shopduckdown.com, right? But the most important thing for us was the support for this album, which we really, really asked people for. Just come to our show, right? And have a good time. Like, really, really give us a chance. Come out to the show and see how Black Moon get down on that stage. You feel me? Don't look at it like, yo, I ain't got enough. Me and my girl gonna hang out. We feel like watching some hip hop, chill. I don't know who the fuck Black Moon is. Never heard of him. Black Moon, whatever. All I know is that it's wine at the bar, and there's a hip hop group performing on November 1st at SOB.
Come get this experience.
And it's gonna be legendary.
It's gonna be
live
because we're gonna be doing old joints. We're gonna be doing new joints. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be going into the crowd. You might be the person that, you know, we on with the camera. I might shout
you know what? There's another thing too. I actually DJ.
Really?
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
That's gonna be something special.
You know what I'm saying?
Real special.
So, yeah.
You know, when you were young as a group, traveling, doing shows, did you go overseas?
All the
Of
time.
course.
Now, you know, it's funny how much overseas love hip hop.
They
You know what
always
I love about this shit is especially from being a Brooklyn night. Sometimes, you know how like you'll say something like, yo, I don't mean a dick ride or whatever, but I fuck with your shit. Like, I don't need to say that. I could just say, those people out there are so pure. They don't say like, yo, I don't mean a dick ride. They're like, yo, man, I love you.
They love the culture,
And they sing every
hard body.
word.
Yes.
Yeah.
They
Yes.
appreciate it.
Yes.
They're thankful for
They
it.
support it.
And they
heavy.
buy it.
Yo.
And they buy it. That's
I
the
remember I went to Paris to DJ, and I rocked. It was like in front of, I think, maybe about 7,000 people. Finished my set. Everybody's like, Black Moon! Black Moon! I'm like, yo. Like, when I seen that, that's when I was like, yo, it's coming. And it was just like, yo, like, they love, like, overseas, they love their hip hop. You know what I'm saying? They love pure hip hop. And it's like, you know, I get the questions, where's Buckshot and where's Five? And, you know, like, people like traveling overseas, it's like, it takes me back to 1988 out here. You know how we was fiending for that Eric B. and Rakim album or that BDP album, you know? Like, that's what it took me back to, like, going overseas and going to Japan. And like, I did what was it, last year? I did Colombia. And yo, Bogota, Colombia. All we know about Bogota, Colombia is Coke.
Yeah.
Yo, they have some of the purest hip hop fans out there, and all they listen to is 90s hip hop.
Integrity.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I was, you know, I played some new boom bap joints for them, and they rocked with it, but they just want to hear their 90s hip hop.
That's why I love the overseas and outside of the United States. They definitely harness the essence of the culture. You know, everything is moving fast paced over here, so everything's just constantly changing. You got no choice but to be involved. You know what I mean? Over there in other countries, they have a choice and they made their choice. You know what I mean? So,
and you can see that, feel that, and
in every perspective of the word. You know what I mean? They're a major part of our situation as far as, you know, Black Moon still being in the game and people wanting to hear our music and stuff. You know,
international. out of states.
Yeah.
See you soon, maybe in 2020. Black Moon will be out to
we got some
Warsaw,
near you,
Poland,
near you,
all these fucking
near
places.
you.
We got some places.
Yeah, and that's
Near you,
something.
South
That's something real
America,
something to be
Europe.
proud of. To be honest
Yeah.
with you,
Yes.
when you think about it, just like some kids from Brooklyn being in Warsaw,
Yeah.
or Latvia.
Yeah.
Yo, like what the fuck is a Latvia?
and didn't get there by being on Atlantic Records or Sony
Yeah,
Records
yeah,
or
yeah.
Def Jam Records
compromise.
or
Independent.
you know.
I'm on my 5th passport.
Yeah.
Live
See, but that's
action.
special.
Yeah, a dude from
Independent.
Brooklyn on his 5th
Independent.
passport, and not the regular size passport, the business page passports.
Thick one.
See, that's the reason
No.
why, and that's like, yo, they can never say we can't do it. Don't doubt us. You know, don't doubt
play.
us. You know, when just don't doubt what we do. You know, don't doubt us, because a lot of people did it, and a lot of people still do. And a lot of people are like, yeah, that Black Moon shit is cool, but them niggas only sold and they only did and they cool, but they underground. You know what I'm saying? I'm on some, you know, pop champagne. You know what I mean? Get go hang out in the club and, you know, XYZ. And my thing is nothing wrong with that. You know, there's nothing wrong with that at all, man. It's just, there's nothing wrong with that, man. I don't know.
No,
It's
they
just-
ain't.
It's like, it's just, you know, we are who we are.
We never
if we go,
we never been the braggadocious type of group. We
like,
just
if I mean,
expressed
no, don't
ourselves
get me
how,
wrong. Like, if we
you know,
if we feel what we feel, we're gonna say it.
Sure,
you know what
sure.
I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, because I don't want people to get the wrong impression either. I don't want them to feel like, well, you know, Black Moon is the type of group that condones or says something specific. Today you might see me in a hoodie. Tomorrow you might see me in a 3-piece suit, leather wash, diamond socks. You feel me?
Buckshot Shorty.
Yeah, because that might be in business buck mode one time, and that might be in buckshot shorty mode another time. So that's my whole thing. Like, but don't look at it like it's something wrong or anything like that, because you might see somebody on either side of the fence, man. If you popping champagne, you having a good time, great. You know, one pop champagne, like we got what I call marijuana music. So
Marijuana music.
yeah. So it's like one pop champagne. We got marijuana. We got the type of music you roll up, chill, smoke, burn, sit back, clean the crib, do whatever. But that's you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's basically what. Excuse me. That's basically how I describe our movement.
As we wind this episode down, you know, Rise of the Moon is out.
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's get it.
Yes.
Stream it.
Stream
Listen to
it.
it. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Shop, duck down.
Cop it.
You know,
Duckdown.com.
couple more things. When you started making money doing shows, you know, all of you, and obviously we'll go around. Do you remember the first thing you bought was some money that you had, like meaning like that you thought was special, like because mind you, y'all were young, and then you know maybe like damn, I would like to get this Sherlin, and then you go do a
I
couple of
remember
shows.
mine.
Yeah, what was it?
Well, 5. What was
Right.
yours?
I think the ability to go buy me some gold fronts was that was my thing right there. Yeah, that when we got money, we got, you know, show money. I was excited by the experience that I got the ability to go buy me some gold fronts.
Classic.
Always equipment. Like I always, to this, I'm still the same way.
Yeah.
Like I always rewarded myself with a piece of equipment that I always wanted. Like I remember the first thing I bought was two brand new turntables.
Technique
And
1200.
Technique 1200s, fresh out the box, because I never had new turntables before. And I bought two new turntables and a Gemini 2200 mixer, which was the mixer back then.
Yeah.
And then it was just like
Stanton needles.
Yep, exactly. Pickerings. I had
Okay,
Pickerings.
Pickering.
Pickering needles. Yo, I thought I was just. It was just yo. I'm here now. You know, it's crazy.
Me? Well, there was a few things that happened when I first as far as my side, there was 2 things that happened. So are y'all well, one I was selling incense and oils and stuff like that prior to we got a record deal.
Yeah.
So for me, it was I had saved up and to invest a little bit of money to try to redo that again. And it was like that wasn't really happening. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought I was gonna be the master Broadway dude with locking down Broadway. I mean, I had the whole fourth
New
and Broadway,
flavors out.
everything. I mean, oils, incense, jewelry, every table you see, that's all mine. Like I was thinking that way, and then it didn't happen. And I bought a green BMW. That was my first. That was the first thing that I was like, wow. Holy, now I'm on. Like, I'm on now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in the game. Like, yo, hold up. Wait. Buck got a BMW and it's green.
Money green?
And it's got the system banging in it, and I got the rims with it. It was like, it just for me, it was, I had just, and I bought it from a used car lot. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I went to, there was a car lot that was around the way, and I had the money to go to him and be like, yo, I want that Beamer. You know what I'm saying? He was like, you got to give me this for it. You got to give me for it. And I was like, no, listen, here's what you're going to do. I said, here's why you're going to take this, right? Because at the end of this day, you can either ask two questions. What am I buying with the money I just gave you? Or you can go, damn it, I almost had a sale. And he said, you know what? I'll take the sale. And I was like, that's a smart man, because that's what I would have did. And from there, I took that to Beamer and
Money green.
yeah,
money.
And a young kid at that. Like I said, you see, we go back, we look at it, you see how young I was. I really thought I was a grown ass man doing a bunch of grown man business. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the mindset was always there.
Yes, it was.
You know, as we like I said, wind this episode down, I don't want to forget talking about and remembering our brother Sean Price. You know, you think about so many moments. Buck, you know, and I remember actually SOBs. When I think about SOBs, I think about when we had that tributes for him and how it was packed it was and how special it was. And
Rock is on the album too, by the way, y'all. Go check.
Shout out to Rock, man.
Shout out to Rock.
Shout out to Rock.
don't forget Rock and Buck.
That's right. Helter Skelter on the album. You know, Helter Skelter. Don't forget. I mean, but Rock was like, you know, everybody, because everybody called him Ruck. Sean. I never got used to calling him Sean. I called him Ruck from day one and to the very last day. And Ruck, you know, Ruck verbally and a lot of other ways would always say to to Burn, respect Burn. He would always say if XYZ or whatever, Buck, you know, Buck knows what to do, you know, or go to or Buck will go to Buck basically. And you know, I play that's not an easy job to be there to somebody verbally, but you know, I mean, we got burned through some hard times, and we got to recognize that life is going to go on, and we don't know which one is going to be the next shocker. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so go all out right now, because you don't know who's going to be and what's going to be, and that doesn't be the bad thing. It's the older ones are getting older, so something as small as what they've been smoking and all that stuff and going crazy with in their 20s might hit them now. Like, out of nowhere, bam! Like, and you're like, what the fuck happened? Oh, we just lost such and such. Damn, what happened? He had a heart attack. So it's like we're at that age and at that time for us where we got to start moving our lives at a certain speed in order to respect that. And then at the same time, for anything else or anything outside of that, you never know, so live your life to the fullest. Appreciate life, appreciate what you got, and appreciate everything that's in front of you. Appreciate your mother, appreciate your sister, your children, appreciate everybody. And one of the best ways to appreciate it is to go all and do everything that you can and don't quit.
Evil Dee, Beat Minus. You're around the town, still DJing, still moving around, still doing what you're doing. What's going on? Anything else besides Rise the Moon that people should look out for?
So we got Beat Miners Radio. We, you know, that's been going on since
long time.
1996.
God damn.
You know, the first
first
internet radio station, first hip hop station was 88 Hip Hop.
88 Hip Hop.
Second one was Beat Miners.
Yeah.
Same building.
Live action.
Same people. And so I still got Beat Miners Radio. still knocking these records out, and just having fun, man. And also being a dad.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It's a special thing.
Yeah, that to me, that
daughter
was like, that was like, wow, like.
How old?
She's 11.
Okay, that's a beautiful age.
Yeah.
That's almost like a couple years before they start giving you the lip jip.
Yeah.
My daughter's 20.
She's 20.
Yeah, man.
Mine's is 13, and like her birthday was not too long ago.
It's a beautiful thing. Let me tell you, raising a kid, raising a daughter, Buck.
I got 3.
Raising a daughter, man, will make you look at life
24.
Mine's
oldest 24.
I learned from my goddaughter. My goddaughter was like my first daughter, and she's is she 32 now, and she got her own kid and everything, and I'm just like, you know what I'm saying, like, yo, like it's bananas to me, like, because you always see them as kids,
sure,
so like when she came to me, I'm pregnant, I was like, what? When did that happen?
Yeah. When you start seeing other people do things and getting old, that's when I feel like I'm getting old. When I seen Derek Jeter like no hairline, I was like, damn, motherfucker look old. I'm like, I remember when he just came up.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm like,
shout out to all of the dads though that are dads. Number one, I mean the dads like us that have daughters it's extra hard because as a man you're raising a daughter, you're raising a girl, and your job is to instill in your daughter the qualities of a man that she would hope that she would come across. Meaning, I'm as a father giving you an example of that there are guys, that there are men out there that exist that have the qualities that you can say, nah, fuck that. I'm not getting nowhere no more. I won't give a fuck how much you do this or how much you do that. You know what I'm saying? If you're not this and you're not that, or you're not on this level, then it ain't worth it for me, because at the end all you're gonna do is take from me, and sometimes people take from people when they don't even know it. So I've had people like that in those relationships. So for my daughter and when they get older, the first thing, like my son, is like, I hope they instill the principles that I instilled in them, which is don't work for nobody. Always get your own company. Yeah. Always do your own thing. Don't work for nobody. You understand me? My son got his own financial company right now. He's 26 years old. You feel me? It's like, I don't work for nobody. And my girl's gonna look back on this interview and be like, yeah, daddy told her, don't work for nobody. You understand? If you need anything, get the information. If somebody's playing, leave them alone. But the bottom line is never work for nobody. And that's my message to them. There's nothing wrong with working for someone but work with someone. Don't work for someone. And that's just them. Yeah. We need workers. Sure. I just don't want them to be one. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and I feel you on that. And I also, for me being a father, like I said, my daughter's 20. I press the reset button. My son is 5. Those who listen to me know. But I always push this movement called presence over presence. Because when I was young, I made a couple of mistakes. I wasn't there for my daughter's first, and I thought that just because I was hustling and she had sneakers and
that mattered,
this and that, that's all, and all this other shit, toys, and I realized quickly that
being a dollar daddy ain't gonna happen.
That's absolutely time. And your presence is the best gift you could ever give.
I mean, and for some of the fathers out there, who can't be in the presence of their daughters as much as they would like even myself, and you can't be around them and some of those special moments that you wish you was there, and they like, where you at? Like, damn, I want you here, daddy. And you like, damn, I can't even get there right now. Like myself, some of the best things that you could do is just let them know for real, like how much you love them. Sure. Like, don't just, like you said, don't try to be a dollar daddy. Sure. Don't be like, no, don't forgive them false promises. Daddy gonna be there in a few seconds and we gonna tell them and let them know how for real life is. And how for real and how much you love them and how much they mean to you and how much you're going to try your best to do these things. And I'm going to try my best to make these things happen because they're very hard. And daddy got to put in a lot of focus and a lot of energy, beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So none of this is easy at all. I'm not gonna give you the daddy gonna make it happen. Don't even worry about it, because that's some bullshit. And I'm gonna feed you false shit, because when it don't happen, now you look at me even more worse, because you're like, daddy, you told me it was going to happen. Now I got to argue with you and tell you, yeah, I said it was going to happen, but you don't understand, it don't happen overnight. Like, well, you should have told me that the first time. You feel what I'm saying? Because I'm your daughter. I learned from you. So if you tell me, daddy, if you tell me, my daughter's, Scarlett, well, listen, beautiful, it ain't going to happen overnight. And I'm going to tell you that right now. And what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to make some wrong decision where it's going to put you in a Flavor, I don't care. I'm going to do it. And I give them examples just like that. Like, I say, go ahead, you can be that. But you know what she is. You know the result of the I don't care. Like, you know the result, Scarlett. So all they could do is look and they can laugh and but they know at that point, he is right. I can act like a chicken head or I can act like a young lady. It's up to me.
That's powerful.
You know what I'm saying?
That's powerful. And it's even more powerful because when you think about it, when you speak about being in your kid's life and you're like separated dads and making the most of the moments, and I got a lot of fathers who hit me up and like, yo, I can't see my kid. What's some advice you have? I try, we don't have, like, men don't have like a, we
don't have a base where we could talk and build about real life and grown men. Like women, they could call each other, yo, girl, come over here. I got to talk to you and let you know about this thing that's going on over here with me. We don't have a base because we haven't set that base up. Well, I think that we deal with too much macho. We trying to live up to expectation of others. Like, we're not keeping it that much real with the situations or our life. Period.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We only hang out to go to the club. We only hang out to go watch the game, but we don't hang out to talk about real life situations, what's actually really going on with us as men over the years. You know what I mean? And, me and son, we always build on that all the time.
That's well.
Our basis of everything that we deal with, even down to the project, is based around those moralities, those thoughts of, where we actually at and where we want to go. When we first met, we always knew that we wanted to be somewhere. The astonishing thing that we didn't know exactly where we would be landing, but we was willing to put in the work to get there. So, even with the impact of the album right now, that our conversation, our relationship now over the, as we build going through the experience, because experience is what's keeping us together. Experience been the glue for years, and they say how we're able to do it right now is the experience. Our knowledge and our morality is what is the glue to everything that you see and everything that you will see in the future that's dealing with 5FT, Buckshot Shorty, Buckshot, the BDI, and Evil Dee.
Morality, like you just said. And before we go, like you said, morality dictates reality. You know what I'm saying? I sat in my crib for damn near almost 2 years now. Like, no bullshit. Like I'm talking about, like, I come out when it's time to grind. And other than that, you know what I'm saying? I'm on it. You know what I mean? No women. I don't know. Sorry, ladies. Like, no, I don't know. No girl. No distractions. No distractions. Just put it like that. Like, it's like, and that might happen. It's not like I'm going, no, I don't. It's just that I'm so focused on this that when women come in my cipher and they want me to take time away from that, or say, well, you need, and it's like, you're absolutely right. I don't need to be a robot workathon. You know what I'm saying? But I don't need someone to take me away from what I'm doing at the level of where I'm at and ruin everything that I've worked for just because you want to poo-poo-noople me all day. And because at the end, I can't really work with that. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather us have the ability to be on the yacht than to be on the block. Like, I can't deal with that. You feel me? And it's not about money. It's about saying when the nigga hit that home run, bow, and then go all the way out in the field, and he benefits the money from the home run, whatever. He's betting the money. He's benefiting because that dude practiced hard to hit a home run. And he hit it out the park. So he got what comes with hitting it out the park. And that's the type of dude I am. I'm not just going to go for a base hit. I'm not doing that.
Round the bases.
You know what I mean?
Internets, rise the moon.
Yes.
Rest in peace to Hot Yo, calm that Jack once again. is who put me on who put me on to a lot of stuff and introduced me to a lot of stuff, but like that. Even, you know, this, like I said, long story short, I remember just watching him and just listening to what he said, and I remember that comment, and I was like, God damn it! I was like, how dare these motherfuckers say that? Like, sausage fest?
Oh, the minor verse majors.
I was like, yo,
with
Ebro.
and
I was like, Ebro, I'm coming for your ass. I'm like, Ebro, pause again. I'm coming for you, boy. You what? I'm like, you with that sideways gray beard. You know what I'm saying? Now I got a little of mine, but I'm like, dog, you better be glad you called yourself Old Man Ebro. How you gonna try to take the moniker now? You're like, no, wait. Before I get too old, call me Old Man Ebro. Fuck it. Now I can't run. Like, I ain't mad at you, Ebro, but that's and Ebro's family too. So you know what I'm saying? But thank you for having us, man.
Oh, come on, man.
Word to mother.
It's like, thank you for having us up there. No, you know, and all our fans. I appreciate y'all.
All of y'all. All of y'all.
.com. That's it.
Word to mother.
Listen, okay? Rise of the Moon.
Yes.
Black Moon.
Yes.
5-footer.
Yes.
Evil Dee.
Yes.
Buckshot Shorty.
Yes.
And let's close it again for people who may not even understand Black, the acronym of Black
brothers lyrically acting,
Combine and kick your music out on nations.
There you go.
That?
Internets, Black Moon, Rise of the Moon.
Go get
cop
that.
And then go dig in the catalog.
And go get that.
And then go tell a friend to tell a friend.
And tell a friend to tell a friend.
Cheer.
November 1st, SOBs. Y'all
I better
all come
see
out.
our SOBs, man. Don't make me out. Come on, man. I don't make
Come
me pay
out
for
for
you.
live action, baby.
Word.
It's gonna be a movie, an epic.
Black Moon. Peace. Internets, if you enjoyed that episode, I want you to email me at thepremiumpeteshow@gmail.com. Again, that email is thepremiumpeteshow@gmail.com. Let me know what you thought. And listen, all my advertisers out there, all my big businesses, my small businesses, whoever, a friend, a store, you want to advertise on The Premium Pete Show? Email me at thepremiumpeteshow@gmail.com and let's get working. Okay? Make sure you subscribe, rate, leave a comment on all streaming platforms of the podcast. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and we'll see you next episode. Cheers.